Hello, hello. All right, there we go. Whew. Sorry about that. Hey, Lawrence, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. All right. Whew. Man, when you don't do something for a little while, it just feels like you're so out of practice. I don't know. Anywho, let's get this light turned on. That'll help me not look so dark here. Ah, there we go. There we go. But yeah. Good day. Good day. Doing good. Can't complain. Hey, man. I'd listen. I'd listen. But, I'll be here for a little while. So there, there is that. I'm going to be working on some Tiffany blanks. Got a few diamond painting pins to finish up. And then I'm going to be working on some Ebonite fountain pens. And then I might throw in some other different stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the stream takes us. But those things for sure are going to be happening. Yeah. Boom. But yeah, let's go ahead and switch views here. There we go. Okay. Everything looks okay. All right. Man. You'll be listening? Right on. What you listening for? You got an ear out for something specific? You're just wanting to, just hanging out, man. One of these days, I'll take the time to figure out how to make everything a little quieter and a little better for streaming. But beyond what I'm already set up for, it's going to take a whole rearranging to get that going or get that changed up and whatnot. But anywho, yeah, I've got 4 of these to go, and then switching over to Ebonite. So let's get to it. Just hanging out. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's a good time. Good time in the shop. Abby made some blanks this morning. I got some blanks out of the pot last night. Been working on these. Been working on these for, well, this week so far. This one in particular, I think I'm actually going to do a different, yeah, we're going to do 27, because this one's a 27, so we're just going to change this one to that. There we go. Something else I was thinking about is the tap and die set that you got, and then, thinking that would be pretty cool to do one of those. Make a stream for that. Yeah. But yeah, believe it or not, we did upgrade the internet. I'm not sure if it's actually reflecting as such, but we did upgrade it, but it does not seem like it wants to cooperate. Hey, Ab. I guess we need a better cable or something. I don't know. It's inconsistent. So that's annoying. That's not going to work, man. I'm pretty sure it's the upload, not the download. Because the download speed's pretty good. It's the upload, I think, that's having the issues. And I don't know if it's my computer or if it is the internet, I guess. So, I don't know. Either way, it's really annoying. You got the 60-piece set. Did you get the metric or imperial? Maybe. Because this one's, I believe it's 100, but look at the coils right there. The blue. Yeah. The 60-piece set, nice. Yeah, this is just not good right now. I try to even turn the latency down. Output.
So I can get
So that's correct. 65 sounds pretty good, but I mean, it might be too much. I don't know. Okay, that's good. General, your screen, output, advanced. Was it here or was it in the YouTube settings part? Okay, let me check there. Settings. Latency, okay. See if I can change the latency while it's going. No, it doesn't look like it. Alright, well, we're just going to roll with what we got. You said it's got both? Alright, good deal, good deal. Yeah, we can definitely get something made. With that. Some of this, a little that, a little that. And then over here is fine. Alright. Man. You know, sometimes I think it would just be nice to use my phone. When I introduce more cameras and all kinds of other stuff, then it just adds more complexity and more areas that can go wrong, and it's very frustrating. The more elements, the more variables, the more frustrating it can be. But I got the right people here to tell me, you know. You'll let me know if the audio or video or whatever it is. But Lawrence, how you been? You've been working on different. What was that you were working on? It's been over a week. Shoot, how was your 4th? You have a good 4th of July? You may just stick with the components. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Making all the components is a lot to learn, really. And I'm still learning, which is a part of why I really like it as much as I do. I think it's really entertaining to learn and then try to make it a little bit different and that type of stuff. But I do have another thing that I haven't really talked about much. I have metal sections that are for Joe from, I believe they're from Junior Gents or Full Gents. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is hot. It's like, it's pretty hot. Come on now, get out of there. Yeah, it's toasty. I even got the little AC thing behind me here. But let's take a gander. There you go. It's 85. And that's when it's been on for a while. So, pretty cool. This little thing is pretty cool too. It's just an atmosphere monitor type of thing. Really valuable if you're doing things that has different reactions and stuff like that. So when Abby's doing the resin stuff, she masks up and all that stuff. You don't want to be breathing those things. "23 resin blanks, wow." We talked about that. That's turn them into pins, sell them for 20 bucks. That's what, 400 bucks? And then obviously you sell them for more, you go higher. Or you make gifts for lots of people. Or if you have 23, you can start working on a Christmas, the days of Christmas. Huh? You just work on the days of Christmas and then I made quite a few kits the other day too. I had my dad helping with drilling, so I had him drill some of those. So that might be one of the things that I do is press all of them together. They're already sanded and stuff too, which is nice. They're on the home stretch. You just got to get them put together now. Let's see. Only supposed to be 109? Oh, that's nice. How you doing, Sean? But these are the ones that are going to go on the DuraClick EDCs. Yeah, they're all sanded. Just need to be wiped off again. But yeah, just pressing all these babies together. and then be done with those. Alrighty, Lawrence. But yeah, only supposed to be 109, huh? Sounds nice and cool. What's the humidity though? Nice ones. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably bring this stuff over here and then knock those out. They're on their home stretch. And then these, these are Tiffany Silver, which I don't know if people actually even pay attention to the title, but $24. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think it's like 50 inside here, because I've got my air conditioner going and it also dehumidifies. But man, it's a scorcher. Oh, I don't know if you've seen my setup, but you can kind of see it. Check this. All right, so we got this whole bracket thing now, and then this is where the camera is that's overlooking everything. So I don't have the tripod. I'm not using the tripod anymore. These were I got these from my sister. My mom came and dropped them off from my sister's house because she didn't have any reason for them. So pretty neat because you can just kind of move it around. You're not really worried about it bumping anything. Yeah, pretty neat. And I don't feel trapped. I felt like there was going to be like overhead type of stuff that felt weird, but it's not bad. I've got it high enough and then the camera comes down far enough. So this is awesome. And it works on a lot of different things. It's got a clamp. But between this arm here and then this for my camera or my phone camera, really cool. Yeah, this is pretty dang cool, and it clamps onto all kinds of stuff. So it's really nice. Really good for a lot of different things, really. You can clamp it onto desks, tables, bars. So it's definitely good stuff. Yeah. I hear you on wanting to film. You should. I mean, it's one of those things that you just got to do it. There's never going to be a good time. And something that I'm kind of realizing is like a decent amount of the content that is like is when you're starting, because I think people enjoy watching like developing or developments and stuff like that. But I guess that's just a completely different approach to it. But yeah, I could have, should have, and started earlier. But what did you want a video for? I guess, is it to like share what you're doing, making money, or like do you want to do the video for money? Ads, revenues, that type of stuff? For me, this was one of those things where I just wanted to show that it was being made by hand. And then the other part of it is I wanted to share with people the different things that I had learned. And then maybe it would help somebody else out at some point. There's lots of good stuff to learn about. I don't know. Just those types of things. Direct traffic to your website. I hear ya. Well, for what it's worth, one of the things that I was thinking about doing is a little bit of shorts where it's just answering questions of some of the things that I see in Facebook questions. Be a pretty good thing to do. I just haven't quite figured out how I want that set up to look, I guess. It's tough. You have that in your Canon. What kind of Canon do you have? Because I have a Canon as well, and if you don't have the software, then it won't let you stream. Well, at least for my camera. I have a pretty old camera from Canon. It's a DSLR, it's a mirrorless, and I used to use it for video, and it does great for recording videos, but it's really big at the same time. So having tripods that are able to hold it, like looking over stuff, is a thing. And then what's the other part about it is let's see. Yeah, I just needed the software to be able to stream in anything higher, I think, than 720. So I wasn't going to pay for that. So I got this. This is a Logitech, and then this camera is a Razer. They're both streaming cameras, really. For like video chat. So they work out well. Because I was looking at a gaming setup type of thing for streaming, because I didn't really know where to start. So gaming is kind of where I was looking at primarily for stream setup, and then I kind of modified it a little bit to be more friendly for the garage, I guess. Let's see. You got new air system? No? I got the same air system. Unless you're talking about the air conditioning, in which, yeah. We got that last year. It's a standalone. And then it just has a hose that goes outside. But yeah, do you already have a website, Sean? But really the biggest thing is turning on your camera. There's another channel that I used to watch pretty often. It was called Think media. It's got the guy from there is Sean Cannell. He's pretty good as far as like explaining stuff and kind of sharing different YouTube philosophies and strategies and things like that. And so I just would turn it on, listen to it while I'm turning, and kind of get an idea of what it is that I want to do with turning. So you might get some benefit out of it as well. Welcome back, Bradley. How you doing? You have to make things in the heat. Right now you can't get overheated because of heart issues. I hear you. I hear you on that. There is another thing that I use sometimes that was told to me from somebody that was traveling around in other countries. And he said, get one of these little collars. Let me go get one actually, because I kind of want one. But it is a little collar that goes in the freezer, and it has a pretty good freezing point. And then it just wraps around your neck. And because of that, it will just kind of sit on your neck, and because you got your arteries and veins in your neck, so this is it. It's frozen, but it's kind of flexible at the same time. So it goes around your neck. And it makes a big difference. But yeah, there we go. So this little guy right here, pretty nice. And let's see. Yeah. It's good for like an hour or so, but we've got multiple, or maybe even came in a packet too. But yeah, if you didn't know, cooling your neck is one of the fastest ways to cool your body. And then also not having anything on your head. Like when you're cold, the best way to warm up is obviously wear your clothes, but also covering your head, because you lose a lot of heat from the top of your noggin. UK, it's 32 Celsius outside. I don't know what that is. What's that in Fahrenheit? Let's see, 90. Looks like 90 degrees. And it's 85 in here in the workshop right now. Even with the AC. This is my little atmosphere monitor. This little guy is happy. When Abby does the resin stuff, the total volatile organic compounds increases, and then these are the particulates or particles that it senses. So these are the smaller, I believe. But anyway, when you're looking at particle masks, there are some that are rated PM2, PM10, and then there's other aspects to it. But basically what that is just how fine the particles are in the air. So it's kind of like a little air quality index type of thing. You want to get a squirrel cage fan? I'm not sure if I've ever seen that. In the news, you put out a warning for going to cold water. You get shocked. Yes, you're right about that, Bradley. Yeah, you can definitely shock your body. That is one of those interesting things because on one hand, people are talking about like the polar plunge and stuff being a good thing, and it can be a good thing, but it can also be a not as good thing as you would think. What am I doing here? There we go. This one. Do we get tornadoes in the area? No. In Oklahoma, I guess tornadoes are pretty common. Here, no, not really. I guess Hurricane Hugo might have been which I think was in '89. But yeah, Hurricane Hugo was, I believe, in 1989, and then we got like flooding. I don't know to what degree the wind was, but it did cause a lot of damage up in the mountain area. But it's pretty unusual when that happens. What about you, where you are? You get any wind storms? But yeah, Bradley, what type of stuff do you work on? Or what type of stuff do you turn, or what do you do? Yeah, we're okay. The mountains were not. Man, the floods were horrible. Like, it caused a lot of people to lose their homes and stuff like that. It was really bad. No. Do not disturb. There we go. Don't they know I'm streaming? Golly. Everybody's here. Yeah, I'm pretty awful about answering my phone. Oh, you know, something else too, actually. If you weren't aware, a few months ago, I applied to the fire department to be a firefighter, and then I did a tour of the station and all that stuff, and then gave them my paperwork, and then I got a call or an email to go do the physical test. So I went and did the physical test, and then a few months passed, or a couple months passed rather, and then I got notified that that I'll be going in for an interview. So I did the interview, and then last week I got a call from the fire captain, or the fire chief. I believe it's a fire chief. I'm not familiar with the ranks yet, but saying that I had training, a training opening in fall. So I was one of the ones that was selected. He called and was like, "Hey, you still interested in the fire department?" I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, well, you're slotted for training in fall." So there we go. There we go. Maybe be a firefighter turner. That'll be cool. So that'll be coming up towards the end of the year, I guess. Just got to make sure that it doesn't interfere with pin shows and stuff. Whoa! What is that ad doing there? I turned it on manual. There. Okay. So yeah, see where it's another conundrum for me is I was hoping Abby and I had talked like a couple weeks ago about moving out west to Tucson again. Love to go out there. The place is beautiful, and I'd like to be out there. You know, I guess the final stretch of where I'm living, kind of thing. But yeah, it might put a delay on that again, because we were, started working on a plan and was like, all right, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna go next year, next summer, we'll be moving. And I mean, it could still happen, I don't know. It's just something, just always something that wants to change your plans. So I guess being flexible and adaptable is the way that it goes. I mean, if I was still in the military, it would be moving my kids around anyway. So, I mean, that's kind of something to think about, I guess. But that was good. There we go. And then I went to the optometrist, the eye doctor, yesterday. Took the kids, or the day before. So, got a new pair of glasses ordered, and kids got glasses, and they had to get, or they wanted to get contacts. So, they got contacts. they had to do the testing and the fittings and stuff like that. I kind of like that that's how they do it. That if you do want contacts, they have a set for you to, they usually have a set for you to put on to make sure that you can if you're a first time contact wearer. They have someone, you watch a little video and then they have someone there to help you both put them in and take them out. And then you have to prove that you can do it on your own, which I appreciate that. They just made sure that the kids were able to do it. And sure enough, my 11-year-old and 13-year-old were able to. For our 11-year-old, which is kind of interesting, they said that the protocol type of thing that they have is you got to be 13, or they would prefer you to be 13. But it'll depend on how well they do with the doing the, putting them in themselves and stuff. So ended up working all right. Heat storms. Whew. Yeah. Bradley, I don't know if you heard me, but I was wondering what type of things you did. This particular one was supposed to be a full-size regular, but I broke it. I chipped it on the end or something, and then I cut it smaller. So now we have a mini. How about that? Also, I was supposed to go to an Evanescence concert. I'm pretty sure that one of the last times I streamed, I was going to go to that. And then Abby and I, we were in the stands and then got weathered out, unfortunately. So they ended up rescheduling, and it's a day before a show, so we ended up not going. Hey, how you doing, James? Good day, good day. Good morning. You getting ready for DC? Oh, nice. Yeah. Yep. Me too. Me too. I guess kind of in the background, but got some well, we got the cherry blossom pin that we were going to do, or we are going to do. I don't know if I showed it already, but this is the first one, and we'll make a set of these. Yeah. So it's going to have a finial on the end, on the top of flower blossom, and then, yeah. It'll look nice and shiny when it's all done. But today I'm going to be working on, I just finished up the diamond painting pens. So the next thing I'm going to do is work on just trimming these down. These, here we go. These Ebonite pens down to their dimensions. So got a little project for these. little side project. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of those prepped up for Happy to work some magic on them. So that is what I'm doing today. And then the other thing that I was working on is my stratified. So these are almost ready. I got to do the sections, and then these are M15s. You know, I made these because of what you and I had talked about. You're like, well, why? Well, just because of what we talked about. So I'll make a few M15s just to have a little bit of variety. So M13s and M15s, and it'll be fun. I got a mandrel made as well. Brian made it for me. I got a mandrel made from Brian for different threads. So those will be fun. Alrighty. So hey. One second. Let me talk to Abby right quick before I get to doing these. Y'all can. Hey. Thinking about it, I can leave a ledge on the bodies.
Oh yeah, for the you talk about for the Ebonite. I think that would be good. Just
I can leave like a little shoulder there.
then maybe you won't get that curve. Like look at you have to get it in mind because if it's like that kind of half, then you can have to black too. That'd be good.
I can do that for the cap too if you want. Should I?
Yeah, I think you should try that.
What you got? Let me see.
I actually decided that I found from a ring I had.
Whoa, look at you. All right, check it out. I don't know if y'all watch a lot of social media, but my wife has been watching that girl that bedazzled her entire car. And then she wanted to bedazzle something, so she did her pill case. And the kids saw it, and they're like, "Oh my God, that is so fun!" So they started. The kids are now bedazzling things. So it's pretty fun. I wish you got luck at the shows. Thank you very much. What threads are you using? What threads am I using for my regular fountain pens? It's the M10x1. And then the M13. And then my other ones are M15. And then the other one is another M10. The one that I got Brian to make for me is about a 10, I believe. but that's for a different project, actually. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, these are going to be shouldered. Yes, that'll be good. Yes. Oh, yes. But yeah, so I'm going to take these. I need to get a measurement on the inside and then the measurement for the overall length, and then I can move on to actually getting them done. So let me get this scooted so I can get my marking tool here. Where are you? That's not the right one. There they are. Sharpie. That'll do. All right. So I'm just measuring the depth here. It's going to be hard to see. It's going to be real hard to see. This silver Sharpie. Do you have a silver Sharpie?
What?
Do you have a silver Sharpie?
Yeah,
Does that show up on Black Better? Thanks. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. That'll do. That'll do. It's cute. Ugh. There we go. There we are. You got some non-stick bushings ordered? Right on. Go to your home. And then this weekend, I've got an AC/DC concert this weekend. Going with my dad. So that'll be pretty fun. We'll be going on Saturday. And then this is just kind of a little trick that I use. That if my threads are tight, I've got an extra tap that I have for that. And then this one's threads too long, so I need to actually reduce that. Yeah, just gonna go ahead and reduce that right quick. And then fine tune it a little bit. There we go. Okay, that's good. Just needed to take a couple mil off. We're good now. Yep, and then we'll do a little bevel on that side, and we'll be good to go. Just a little bevel. That is not the one I want. Let's see. Let's see. Where the heck is it? Huh. Here we go. Just a quick little bevel to make sure that that is on track here. Yep, it's the right one. There we go. Almost. Good. Just hit it with a little sand and we're good to go. A little sanding. Oops. There we are. And then when I was trying to figure out another thread, I actually figured this one out. So now I got a little, I'll have to make a little handle for this guy. So this is just a little wire brush. But I got these threads. I was trying to do a different thread, but turns out this one was the correct for that. So I'll probably end up making a little handle for that at some point. But yeah, boom. Now we're good. Could do a little fine tuning a little later as well. So, not the most exciting, I guess, at the moment. But so this is my approximate line there. And then I measure up just a little bit when I do get them. Oh, hold on. Alright, now we're good. There we go. You got a piece of ebonite too? That's fun. It's always fun to have a little different thing. So there's 8 of these. That are already ready for the most part, at least for their next step. But yeah. It looks so rough. But we'll clean it up. It'll get cleaned up. Can't have it going out like that. Couple more. If you're wondering, this is Nico Ebonite. It's Japanese Ebonite. That one is missing one of its drills. That one's got to get drilled. This is why there's checks in between as you're going, you know, because that one didn't actually have the space for the actual nib to be. Which would cause somebody's nib to go into the cap and then bend. And that would be awful. That would be awful. Because we get the nibs, and then sometimes we will get them tuned or customized to where you know, it's got a different grind on it. I've got a few different grinds, and Abby's got quite a few different grinds, and we actually like different grinds, which is kind of funny. You know, I've kind of kicked around the idea of doing some nib work, but you know, that's a whole thing in and of itself too. That's going to take a little while to learn. So I just kind of do that on the side every once in a while. Use some of my nibs that aren't going to go with pins. My testers, I guess, because I do test. I test fit them all the time, and I've got some out here for that purpose. Nice sulfur smell. This is a little air gun. The hole was too big and I made it smaller, but I think there's now too much resistance. So it's just coming back out. But whatever. It works. I saw Bob from RJB. He was talking about using a straw and putting the straw into the hole and then blowing it out, which that's pretty smart. That's a clever idea. And so I tried that a little bit, but changed gears. I changed gears. All right, now that one is good. Measure it. Ebonite. Yeah. Ebonite kind of has an eggy smell to it because of the sulfur. Okay. Now the next thing we got to do. Put this away now. Don't need that. Don't need that. Now I need, there you are. Oh, I do still need the marker. Where did it go? Crap. It's right here. Just had it. Your dog's barking out there. There it is. This is how I do the measurement part. So I got my little ruler, and I'll favor the upper part of it because I know that I'm going to make them a different kind of shape. Here we go. I'm going to go up a little bit and then 5.5. Boom. So this is the pin will be cut out from in between there in those points. To give myself a little bit more on the barrels next time. We're really close here. Go. But have you tried turning it yet, Lawrence? You tried turning an Ebonite yet? It's got a very distinct smell. It's got one of those smells. It's like, yeah, that's Ebonite. Okay, I get them all. Yep, yep, yep. All right. Good to go. Also, if you, I know my folks like to use measuring tools, but this one's pretty interesting because this one's got 16ths marks, both sides, and then it's got 32nds as well, and then it also has metric millimeters, and it's about 6 inches. So it's 6 inches long, which, you know, is about 153 or so millimeters, 152, but it goes to 150. Pretty cool little guy here, really convenient. I've got another thing from Rockler too, which is also really handy. I've used it a lot. I've got a couple of them, but here's another one. This one's a 3-incher, but it goes the 3 inches, 3 inches, and then it's got 32nds on the edge. And then this is one of my favorite parts about it is it's got a little chart of the different common sizes. So if I'm trying to figure out what thread or what size drill bit I need for a certain threads or things like that, I can come reference this and then do a quick little math and then go from there. It's pretty handy. Turner's Warehouse also has a printable, you probably buy it too, but there's the chart here that it's got, and then it's got this little thing here that shows you all the different measurements that can be used. So, yep, pretty neat. Turner's Warehouse is probably everything for us. I think Chad's accumulated everything that you would ever need for starting making fountain pens. But yep. You got new carbide cutters? That's awesome. I did too. I got a new set as well. Abby ordered them when I realized I was getting kind of low. So, yeah, I had to get another set. I go through quite a few, and I have, I don't know, I've only sharpened them a couple times before, so I could do a good old video on sharpening those, because I got a lot of them to sharpen. I think I've shown them before, but here's some of them that have already been used. Whoops. Yep. And then here's a couple more. I tried out the golden ones, and then these are the last three that I have before getting into the next pack. So all of these are used minus these three. So almost 90 tips. So I don't know. I mean, if you were to buy 9 containers of this, it'd be like $180. If I had to guess, all of these are about $180. But I didn't just buy them all at once. Yeah. But really convenient to have found these, because I'd be going through carbides like crazy. And I also have a couple of the other small sizes if you're interested in those. So here's the ones for this little guy. So the CI5, you can get these inserts. Again, the ones that you get from Easy Wood Tools, I'll go ahead and say it, that they're going to be a better quality. But these work. So just get comfortable with the tools that you're using and then use it, you know. I'm pretty sure that's actually an Easy Wood Tool carbide. And then they also come in little things. I haven't actually replaced these, I don't think. I don't use the smaller ones enough. But yeah, there's a couple other cutters. And then as for the diamond ones, we've got these. So these fit in here. Again, not Easy Wood Tools, but as often as I use this, it's not very. This will probably last me a long time. Long time. And then I've also got square. I've got a couple sets of square actually. So these are the like flat squares. You can see I've worn the heck out of some of these. I've dropped them quite a bit, unfortunately, as well. So that, I'm pretty sure that's a Easy Wood Tool one that it dropped it and it cracked the tip there. But yeah, those are the flat ones, and then I also have rounded square ones this way. These are packaged like so. Let's see if I can get one. Whoop. That one's a flat square. There you go. There's a rounded So you can see the difference here between the two. This one is kind of got an arch on the, instead of it being completely flat. Yeah. So this one's completely flat and that one's kind of arched. See a little bit of blade sticking over there. And that just, it's interesting because when you're actually cutting, it's kind of nice having those things swoop away a little bit. Unless you're trying to do a square shape, in which that doesn't really work out well. So interesting there. And then I have a larger set of the big ones. And for reference, this is the, I guess, the normal size, the average size. And then this is the obviously much larger. And that one goes onto a different tool. It's the handle. I've got the diamond and the square for this one too, and that's what this one is. Obviously not the square, but yeah. But something that I had to do with that other one, unfortunately, was I had to leave the smaller one in place, which doesn't look right. Oops, sorry. Here we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's actually two carbides there because this wouldn't go all the way down. It's a combination. This isn't tall enough, for one, and so it won't sit flush on the actual tool handle. So yeah, I had to do a little improv, so I left one little round cutter in there and then put the other one on top of it. And, you know, for what I use it for, it's not that big of a deal. I usually just use it for roughing out squares and turning my dust collector on. But that's the way that I made it work, because it wouldn't otherwise. And then I've mentioned it before, but the actual screws themselves, it's still working in my round, but I can tell that the Allen wrench is starting to move a little bit, starting to slip. So that is not good. And which is why I got the other thing, so I can make another handle. But who knows? Maybe I'll just go ahead and get another screw, because that's really all it needs. It just needs another screw, which is a tiny little screw, but that one they call you a radius cutter. Yeah. Yep. Thank you for that. Alrighty. So we're going to start with caps. So it doesn't really matter. Caps or barrels. Gonna get an idea right quick. You know, something else that I've come to realize is how nice it is to just leave this and this, and I don't take it out. And then you just get another one for the other components. Boop. And then you have another one with the section. So yeah, I guess that'll work. And then because this had a hole in it, I got some tape, wrapped it around this screw a whole lot, and then I screwed it all the way in. So now I can actually put it in and then be able to knock it out too. Because I wasn't able to knock it out before, but now I can. Look at that, just problem solving. Bum, ba-dum, dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay, we're starting with caps. Move some of these over, give myself some space for these oncoming caps here, or incoming. Incoming? Yeah, better. All right, little pieces, get out of here. Okay, that, boom. Alrighty. Did you want them flat or rounded?
Rounded.
Okay. Cigar style.
The ends are hard when it's flat.
Okay. There we go. All right. Boom, boom, set, locked. We're going to come down to there. I'm going to make this about 15. Yeah, we're going to make this about 15 mil. And then the barrels will end up 13 and a half. Yeah, that sounds about right. Looks like you ran the others off. And maybe. Dang it, Lawrence. Why are you doing that? I'm just kidding. And then I've got another project for these. These are pretty cool. They have some noodles in there. I don't know if you're able to see them, but it's a combination of like the chatoyance color shift as well as the noodles that we put in there. Some of the noodles caught bubbles, unfortunately. So we'll have to navigate that as we get closer. But I'm thinking this is going to be a cap, and this is going to be another cap. So we'll have two caps from this blank. Then I'm going to make two sections from this blank, and then we're going to do the barrel as something different. So that'll be pretty neat. I don't know what exactly the barrel's going to be, but I was thinking black ebonite actually, but maybe. We'll see. Alrighty. So, yep, 15 and a half or so. We're going to get these calipers set. We're going to take it down to 15 actually. And it's going to be relatively it's going to be probably flatter than normal. Let's see, we'll do 15, 50. That'll be good. 1550 is the diameter we're going for here, which this this mandrel here is about 15. So that is also one of my visual cues that I use, if you were wondering. So yeah, let's get to it. Ebonite. Ebonite. No. Sorry. Okay. Boom. 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 All right. So this is the actual depth of the inside, and because I'm going to make it a rounded, I'm actually going to go a little bit higher initially, and then kind of follow the shape of the drill bit. If you can imagine the drill bit itself. So this isn't the same size, but it's the bigger drill bit for reference. So when I'm shaping it, I know that there's like a 160 degree on the inside. So this is kind of what I'm envisioning, this angle here. And in order for it to like come up nicely and then be able to have a taper that's a consistent like taper, as well as not getting too deep into there, this is what I'm thinking about. So I need to, the top of it is to this line, the bottom of the line, and then I'm going to go above the line here, and that'll give me enough space out here to do a taper to clear the actual flute, the outer flute of the drill bit inside. Yeah. Okay, so got that, and in order for me to get a shoulder, normally I would just take it to the metal lathe and then just trim it down and then stop. But because I'm doing all of this on the wood lathe, what I need to do is kind of trim it down to around where I want the shoulder, and then square it up after that. Brian, how you doing, buddy? Have a good 4th? I actually need to replace the tip here. Come on, get out. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna change the actual carbide tip. I used this one all yesterday. It's ready for a swap. Sorry. Pressure pot won't, a little low. That's not good. We don't want that. Gotta wait for this to finish coming up. I guess that's what happens when you got a 6-gallon compressor. You need something a little bit more robust. Drop the pressure. There. The pressure was a little low for a while. It looked like it was about 35. All right, Brian. Awesome. We had a good 4th. You're at work. All right, all right. No worries, man. Good to see ya. I have yet to use the mandrels yet, but they do fit. So that is awesome. Thank you for those. But yeah, so we took pre-orders for one of our sets of diamond painting pins, which is unusual, but we did. We did that, and then also in preparation for the show, I got to get stratified pins, also something else that I'll talk about a little more later, once it actually comes out. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it yet. Are we supposed to talk about our article? Or no?
August. I don't have any idea the dates that it's about. I'm not sure if you're right.
Okay. Well, obviously don't post the article anywhere, but talking about it.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in the August.
Cool. Anyway, we'll be in a article in August, which is cool. It'll be cool. Alright, now I've got to feel this out a little bit because it's going to be quite a bit sharper now. Ooh. You can see the color difference right there. So this is what a new carbide does. This is what an old carbide does. You can kind of see it. It's kind of crazy. Yep. Old carbide, new carbide, and then base surface from when you get the Ebonite. The Ebonite that we got, again, is Nico Ebonite, and this is a rod. Well, this is a rod of it. So it is, this one is about 34 inches. 34 inches. I got a yardstick right here. So you just measure it out and then cut the pieces that you need from it. They sell them in, well, we bought a good amount of it actually at once. But yeah. So we're just reducing the size overall of that shoulder. Ooh, it's nice. Look how shiny that is now. Wow. That's a new carbide cutter for you. All right, so we're not close yet. Need to go quite a bit more. There you go. So I'm trying to get this front top side, I guess. Top side set first. That way I can kind of marry everything else up to that. Even though the top will be it'll be smaller, but that's also why I'm starting with the top. So I know that it'll go smaller. That way if I happen to go too deep, it's not that big a deal because it's going to be small. Yeah. But once I get that sizing correct, then it'll be good to make everything else. Aha, okay. So I'm a little past 15.5, which is okay. But this, approximately right here, is where my reference is to take everything else down to that. So that's when I like to use the square, actually. So I hold it perpendicular, and then I just kind of have it squeal at me. Here we go. Coming straight across, just kind of working our way down with it a little bit. So this is the actual size that I'm going for right here on the right. On the left, you can see that it starts and then it kind of flares out. We're just going to continue working that down. didn't have any audio. What's going on? The video looks like it's kind of laggy too, doesn't it? We did get better internet, but it doesn't seem to be doing what it's supposed to. That is so frustrating. Well, what now? Dang it. That's a bummer, man. Bummer. Anyway, I don't know what y'all heard, but I was asking about y'all's 4th, and then I started talking about us having their little family reunion up in the mountains with Abby's family. Like a family reunion type of thing. Which was fun. Alrighty. Well, that is about good for that. We'll do the other ones in the metal lathe. But there is one. That took forever, it felt like. I'm going to go ahead and change over here. Turn off Morty. How's the boss doing? She's doing all right. Maybe she'll come over and chat for a sec. You want to chat?
What?
Let me turn the camera on you.
Why?
I just asked about you. I said hey.
Oh, hey.
What? What? I will do no such thing. Okay. That, this, boom, bada, thing. Let's switch views here. Let's switch views. I don't have one for the metal lathe at the moment. I don't know if I can actually zoom it out enough so you can see either. Down, up, tilt, up. Okay, well, you can see now. That'll do. Yep. Don't say it, Brian. I know you see it. Don't say it. Okay. I need a cap mandrel. Thank you. I know you see it. I know. All right, so I'm gonna have to measure these again, unfortunately, because of doing this, which will be okay. There we go. All right, this needs to be tightened up a little bit, actually. If your tailstock isn't locking well, you can adjust this bottom plate. I just give it a little half rotation and then put it back on. Then that gives me more travel. There we go. So I'm going to have to get this set. It just glitched out. Oh man, that's what it looks like. Golly. It's crazy, man. Ordered another cable. So maybe that'll help. I don't know. Alrighty. This is why it's going to be a lot easier. The video is rebooting. So frustrating. Sorry about that. I don't know why it's not wanting to cooperate. There we go. Let's take a measurement here. It appears to be close. Okay. Not quite. The diameter of this. No, I think it's me. Unfortunately. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's me. Oh my god, that's so frustrating though. Anyway, the math is you measure this diameter and then you, let's say that it is 17 and you're trying to get to 15. So you measure the outer diameter, you find the difference between those, the 15 and 17, and then you divide it by 2, and that's how you get the actual increment readout here on the slide. Man, I don't know why green's been such a thing lately. But that is video's choppy. Choppy. Stupid internet or computer or something. All right. Well, sorry. Probably just wrap it up here right after this one. And I'm going to continue, but probably not streaming because it is not wanting to work out right. And I don't want y'all to have to deal with that. Yeah, you do, Brian? You got that double start I want you to do. So I use the tenon cutter. No. But I have it. I have it. I'll fine tune that actually a little later. Boom. Okay. We'll leave this set as is. Yep. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what to say. I do have the tenon cutter, and it's pretty good. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. So there is that. For pen sections, no, not usually. Oh man, what to do? Should probably just turn the stream off, huh? But then it fixes itself, and it's all fine. Alright. Alright, we're going to try this out and see where it puts it. Because we should be slightly over 15 and a half. But we're going to be taking a pretty big bite out, and so this might camp a little bit. Which will make it end up taking a little bit more, so that's why I backed it off, because we're doing a bigger bite. It does not like that. Stop it. Stay going. Alright, we'll back it off just a tad. There we go. Ah. Do you think it's the heat wave causing internet issues? I don't know. I don't know. Alright, one more little pass should be good. There we go. But that's I believe it's the Jim Hines sit-in cutter. Like, I think he designed it and had it made. Alrighty, and then this is just at 15.5. Perfect. Alright, we're going to do our initial little cut here. And this will be our reference cut. I'll back it off. That way I can do the cut in 2 passes. And the vacuum's getting full too. Golly. Everything seems to be happening right now, huh? There we go. But yeah, for this, you want to kind of creep up on it. You don't want to just do everything in one swoop. It causes a lot of stress on the blank. Because it's also hollow, remember. It's not a solid rod anymore. But there we go. And just leave it till there's this set up there. Ready. Do our initial again. This is our guideline basically. And then we'll do back it off half or so. And then do it in a couple. Alrighty. Oh, and then this little guy, now it's all liquid, not cold at all anymore. So I gotta get another one. And then I also need a trash bag. Because the vacuum's full. Alrighty. So I got my other one now. I got my other one. Alrighty. Oop, my bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting. My goodness. Go. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Maintenance. Maintenance stuff. Okay. Now this, I'm going to pull this out. Oh. Ugh. There we go. Yeah, sorry about the issues, I guess, man. It's very frustrating. There we go, a little bit better. Now we're back. Sort of. Are we back? I don't know. There it is. Let's measure, I reckon. 15. Back this off just a tad. Metal aid, it does make things a bit easier. When it comes to like getting things dimensioned and consistent. Yeah, I don't know how this stream's going at the moment. Because it's like your bit rate is too low, and then it says excellent, and then it keeps switching back and forth on me. Very, don't know what to do. Perfect. Maybe YouTube's like, you know what? You don't want ads? Fine. We won't give you the bandwidth. Yeah. I'll finish this cap and then wrap up the screen. Sorry, folks, about that. Appreciate you all being here. We did make changes, but not enough, I guess. But I don't get it. I don't get it. No, get up. Get up. Get up. Ebonite's really nice. But yeah, I'm gonna repeat that with the barrels, and then get back to shaping them, and that will be the plan. Let's go ahead and actually, I just need to lift this up here. Oh man. But yeah, sorry about that. Sorry we're having some internet issues, man. That's frustrating. But appreciate you hanging out, and yeah, I'll see what I can fix here and then try to stream again. But yeah, we'll be working on a lot of fountain pens coming up. That'll be fun. Yep. But yeah, appreciate you all being here, hanging out. I will see y'all next time. Take care.